Bronson's looking a little sus. Can the crew eject the imposter in time? Find out this week on Hapless Heroes.
Quinn, I'll give you one opportunity to do something cool or just like walk around them.
Quinn just walks around them.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Hapless Heroes podcast. I'm Francesco, and tonight I will be your host and DM as we continue this rather exciting encounter. First, before we get rolling, I would love to introduce my wonderful cast of characters. They're with me every week here, and we have to my virtual left, Dave playing Zero, Valen's Avatar of War.
Greetings from the land of beatings.
Mike as Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind.
Always and forever at my service.
Nicole as Boris the Butcher.
I'm still in a pile of confetti and popcorn.
Phil as Hedrick the Entertainer.
Between the confetti and the converting, I just want to get to the top of this.
And John as Lord Jarrell the Light.
Doppelganger! It's not a dream this time, is it?
Nope, this is very much reality, as the last time on the show, the gang encountered some strange happenings in High Rock. Boris stole a bunch of food from the temple or the, campus of Valen's private stash of, meats and grains of exceptional and strange and unknown quality as far as, exotic meats and, pristine foodstuffs that she stuck into her magical pockets in her armor. In addition to that, you guys, were told to go to the Spire to talk to the acting Archcleric Bronson, to maybe discuss, what can be done about the people suffering in High Rock and the faithless running around and just the general unrest that is happening ever since all of the temples to the old gods have fallen here. Definitely a very chilling omen for the denizens of this holy city. While exploring the Spire, Hedrick, Boris, and Quinn were asked to remain on the first floor because they were not, in service of the church, or were not members, or sort of in the inner circle, so to speak. But Jarrell managed to at least convince the person working in, sort of ushering people in, to allow Zero to escort him to the top of the Spire to meet the Archcleric. When you got to the top of the Spire, the Archcleric was there, and he didn't really have a lot of nice things to say about you, Jarrell.
He was mean. He was very mean.
And, said that, if they could do it all over again, they'd do it a little bit differently with you, as a doppelganger of yourself walked out of a room behind where the Archcleric stands. Meanwhile, Quinn, Boris, and Hedrick created a distraction on the front or the bottom floor, because you guys realized that all the people working in this Spire seem to be very almost calculated and repetitive in their actions, as if either they're not real or under some sort of spell, because they are repeating the same actions over and over again and aren't necessarily they're not acting very human-like. There's something sort of disrupting the sort of autonomy that of their humanity. And Hedrick, trying to ascend to the top of the tower, spells failed. He tried to cast an invisibility spell and instead confetti flew out from your hands. So there's some weird, funky magic stuff going on in here as well. And you instead said a prayer to Valen, and the door with no handle that leads up to the second level of the spire opened for you. And we're actually going to open tonight on the crew ascending the spire to leave you in suspense a little bit longer with what's happening with Jarrell. So, Hedrick, the door opens for you after you knelt in prayer and pledged your service to Valen. And you see, that spiral staircase I had described in the previous episode continues.
If I'm not mistaken, there were two handlers, I guess, down on the first floor with us that are like cleaning everything up.
3, but yes.
3. I do want to try to signal to Quinn and Boris that the door is now open. And I'm going to stand at the doorway until I can get their attention. So I'm going to kind of try, whistle, like short whistle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do it too loud.
Okay, a whistle happens. You hear a whistle from the stairs.
Performance on the whistle.
Yeah. You know what? Give me a performance check on the whistle.
Mike can't perform on the whistle.
I like where your head's at, John. Thank you for suggesting.
What was that?
It's so much weirder.
Give me a performance check, please, for the whistle.
2 plus 15, so 17 total.
So really, you're just kind of fishing for the one on that.
You almost got it.
Almost got it. You guys clearly hear what could only be Hedrick whistling from the top of the stairs.
Do I notice the door open as well?
Hard to see with the overwhelming amount of confetti that is flying through the air, and the popcorn that is popping from the fireplace as Boris had thrown just a huge bag of corn onto the open flame.
So much popcorn. I would assume that Hedrick needs us to follow him, so he probably needs my Quinn's help with something. So yeah, Quinn goes toward Hedrick.
Boris darts up the stairs as soon as she hears the whistle, assuming that something interesting is happening up there and taking advantage of the confetti cover.
And the confusion, yes. And yep, you guys make it up the stairs and onto the second level.
So yeah, Hedrick waits, make sure he flags them both through the doorway. And this is a long hallway. I kind of forgot what the layout was.
So the second level was the audience chamber, where it has that, along the wall that kind of goes along, as you kind of come up the stairs, right? The staircase levels out a bit and then begins to continue to climb up. But in the center of the room, the floor is sunken in, and you have this almost 360-degree seating at multiple levels with a podium in the center. So sort of like an oration chamber, audience chamber. Still nobody in it,
All right. He's just trying to get to his friends. I just wanted to get a layout because I kind of forgot what everything looked like.
Yeah, no worries.
He's going to say, I have a real bad feeling about this place. I have no idea what that confetti was that came out, so this whole place is probably going to be pretty strange. We got to get to Zero and Jarrell. I do not feel good.
Yeah, speaking of Zero and Jarrell, we're going to pan the camera now all the way to the top level of the spire. You are staring at what looks to be a spitting image of yourself, but in, full armor with the helmet on. You can only see, pretty much the eyes, the bottom of, the nose and the mouth of this creature, but you feel, it bears a striking resemblance to you.
Jarrell will say, Archclerk Bronson, what is the meaning of this? Who is this imposter? And I will use Divine Sense.
Oh man, you are lighting up like a Christmas tree right now. There is very much a fiend in your midst.
Ooh, do I know which one it is?
No. Divine Sense doesn't tell you exact. It doesn't actually highlight which one it is. You just know how many there are.
Type and location, if not behind total cover. So
Okay.
I know which.
Okay. All right. There are 2 fiends in front of you.
Are they standing where Archcleric Bronson and my doppelganger would be standing?
In that direction.
Okay, cool.
And Archcleric Bronson says, "No, Jarrell. It is you who are the imposter." "Oh, it's an imposter! Jarrell, a doppelganger is in your midst. You must attack." And the doppelganger, Jarrell, looks to you. Its eyes glow this bright white. And it charges at you. And you see, as it's running towards you, Archcleric Bronson waves his arms in the air. And you remember how I had described how the ceiling, or like the upper, like up towards the rafters of this top level of the spire, there was almost like this projection of like a night sky. So Archcleric Bronson's arms go up, and as they come down, that projection fills the room and surrounds you. It obscures the back of this circular room where the raised, dais was, where an altar was, where Archcleric Bronson was sitting. So all you're looking at now is almost like a dome of this like celestial darkness, with just you and the Zero and the doppelganger inside of it. And all of us are going to roll initiative.
So we can't see Bronson anymore.
You cannot.
Correct? And a 4 for Jarrell.
What? I still beat you?
Yeah, I rolled a 5 too, Quinn.
Well, I rolled a 2.
I know.
It's okay. Doppelganger Jarrell is still going last.
Okay.
Because
Whoa.
Doppelganger Jarrell rolled a 3 modified, so...
Wow.
Just like the real Jarrell. Oh no, which one's
Yeah,
which?
Just very close to the real thing. Zero, shoot him.
It's gonna
No, shoot him!
depending on I will say, depending on how embroiled in battle the two of you get, it's actually going to be very hard for Zero to discern which target to choose.
Is the armor that similar to mine?
It is.
It even has my dragon armor.
It
and
is
the helmet of
exact.
Balin and everything.
It
Everything
is
looks the exact same.
Exact.
Oh.
Well,
Fiends
So-
count as undead, right? So I still get all
No.
my stacks.
Fiends do not count as undead.
They count as fiends.
Fiends are
they're
fiend-
fiends.
Fiends are fiends.
I feel like we've fought undead fiends before. Maybe we just used that phrasing. I can't remember.
Nope. You've probably just called them fiends because you're a paladin.
Mm.
That's a good word to use when you're striking something down.
All right. Well, we're gonna start actually with. For now, we're gonna use Boris's initiative to deal with the 3 of you, since Boris was so high. At least until you reach the top floor of the spire. So we'll handle your group of 3 in one vignette, and then we'll go to we'll split the initiative up until then. So, Boris and team, starting with Boris, you're on the 2nd level of the spire. You guys continue to climb, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Okay. So 3rd floor of the spire, it's where it comes up and straight in. So now you're looking down almost like where you'd be like in the center of a hallway that goes to another door that's with a set that is closed. That has the set of stairs behind it, and then there's a few rooms, like there's walls built and rooms off to the side. 2 doors on either side of the room here, on this level. But you know that to continue up, you'd have to go to the end of the hallway, through that door, and up the stairs. That door also has no handle.
No handle.
I guess I wasn't, or Boris wasn't there to see the first handleless door, so she would go up to the door
Right.
and like investigate it.
Yeah, this looks like a door, but there's no handle on it.
So Boris would be trying to like stick her fingers under the edge of the door to like pull it open.
When you touch the door, I would like for you to make me
Oh no.
an intelligence saving throw.
20. Not natural, just 20.
You almost feel as though something must have been enchanted onto the door because you felt almost as if your psyche was being affected by some enchantment placed on this door, like it was trying to almost access or penetrate your mind, but you were able to sort of fight it off, and the door opens.
Cool. I run through.
Does the rest of the group follow?
Yeah, Hedrick
Yes.
raises an eyebrow, but he's like, "Oh, okay." And he keeps running through. He's a little perplexed as to how the first door opened for him without touching it, and then she just kind of like puts her fingers on it, feels it, and then it just opens.
Sounds yeah. It's a mystery, that. All right. We'll take that as the group action there. We'll go back to you guys in a second. For now, Zero.
Zero is going to start with the normal unleashing of hell at the one that he at least currently knows and understands to be our doppelganger, since he has not closed with us yet. And we're just going to take our standard 3 attacks. Let's make sure I've got my info on top of the stack here right in front of me. It looks good. First attack is going to be just a regular shot, and that is going to be a 24 against AC.
24 hits.
Fantastic. Okay. You want me to resolve all hits before damage?
Yes, please.
Okay, so the second one then, we are going to make that a sharpshooter shot. Let's see, the second is going to be, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14 against armor class.
Will not.
Okay, and the third then will be nat 20 with sharpshooter.
Woohoo!
Wow. Yep.
All right, so let's resolve that
Just
first
this
one.
absolute flurry of shots from Reason, your modified crossbow.
Yes. So, our first one is going to be just a standard D10 plus 6, which is just 7 piercing.
Okay.
And the second, let's see, that's the full 10 plus 6. Let's see, and that plus 10 from sharpshooter, does that tack on at the end, or does that get the multiplier for being a crit?
Gets the multiplier for everything else.
I mean, it just...
Yeah, it depends on when the doubling happens.
No, because it's not the weapon damage itself. You're just going to tack that 10 onto the end. That being
Good,
said...
okay. That's 10 plus 9, so that's 19 plus 6 plus 10.
35.
Yeah, for the second.
What was the first one again?
That was, let's see, a 7 piercing.
So 7 and then 35?
42.
Yes. Yeah, it's a good number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It takes all that damage.
Excellent. And then after that, what does the battle space sort of look like right now? I want to try to rejigger some positioning here.
So there's some candelabras placed on the floor, like iron ones. There's only 2 of them kind of behind you at the entranceway. You can't see actually where the other ones are because those would be up on the raised platform. So it just kind of looks like we're going to call this like a 25-foot like dome that's sort of circling around, where the door at your back is obscured, is where the darkness starts, and then and then the other edge of it is where Doppelganger Jarell is standing. The rest of the room, you have carpet.
Talking about. Sorry.
As I say, you have a runner carpet running through the center of the room as well. And I'm sorry, what question did you ask?
Size of the area.
So we're talking about like a 25-foot like diameter.
Radius.
Diameter.
Oh, geez, 25 diameter, so nice and tight.
Nice and tight.
Okay. Zero is going to move to the nearest candelabra.
Mm-hmm. It's about 5 feet away from you.
Okay, fantastic. You know what? Now is the time. Zero is going to action surge, grab the candle, and throw one of those nice waxy candles at the doppelganger.
That's awesome.
Okay, make me a ranged weapon attack.
Just a regular ranged attack.
Yeah, don't add your proficiency, right? Just add your dex.
Which is a 15 plus dex. So that's a 19. I'm not a.
He swats it away out of midair.
Fair enough. Does any of the wax splatter on him when he does that?
A little on the armor.
Good.
Let's see. Actually, let me roll for that. Actually, let me roll for that. Yes.
Fantastic. Good. That's all I needed. Oh, by the way, what color were the candles?
White.
All right, still good enough. Yeah, that feels like a decent use of my action surge. If I'm not going to dump it into a whole bunch of.
I really like where your head's at there. Yeah, there's a little bit of wax on his hand.
Perfect. All right, that's my action economy, and that's my turn.
Okay. Jarell, you actually get to go before Doppelganger Jarell because you guys are separated by 1 in your initiative.
Before the room closed, like around us.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're kind of past that now.
Yeah. How far was Archcleric Bronson from us?
Probably about 50 feet from you.
50 feet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This room is much larger than the area that you are enclosed in.
Yeah. So, Jarell was thinking, like, clearly there's 2 imposters here. But we're going to have to take care of this one first, I feel. Jarell can easily close to his imposter. And we'll try to kick the living shit out of himself. With a 21. Which I know
miss.
Is me. Oh, miss. Hold on.
Miss.
Let me make sure I'm doing my math right. Yeah, it is 21.
Yeah, blocks with his shield.
Okay. And I will swing again. And that is plenty. 32.
32 definitely hits.
The Sword of Justice has never done anything so just in its... and just unleashing let's see, I'm gonna do a 3rd level Divine Smite, but I will hey, you want to make sure you know exactly which one I am, even if he wipes off the Branding Smite.
Okay.
At 2nd level.
Okay.
It's 9 for the Branding Smite, and it has my initials on its cheeks, just like that one time I did this to Hoblet.
Well, you mean the cheeks, like on the armor, then?
Yeah,
so like
sure.
on the faceplate. Okay.
You can see it. Yeah, it's like a golden fire kind of shine. You can tell exactly.
Yeah, sheds dim light in a 5-foot radius and can't become invisible till the spell ends.
Mm-hmm. And then 2d8 plus 2d8 plus the improved Divine Smite is 5d8.
Paladin math, here we go.
36.
36 damage total, so that's your slashing and radiant combined.
And the Branding Smite, yep.
Yep, okay. Doppelganger takes 36 damage. But now the doppelganger will act. Looking like standing tall.
Okay.
As you. As tall as you. Ever so slightly waxy.
And shiny from his face.
Okay. The doppelganger will act. The first thing it will do... So it swatted that away with its... with its sword hand, its right hand. That hand is brandishing a sword that looks identical to the Sword of Justice. And you see him rear up, the sword glows, and he makes 3 attacks against you.
Me. Okay.
Yes, you, Jarrell. Okay, so we have a 23, a 22, and math, 25.
Those all hit.
Okay. One of those is a branding smite.
Oh, okay. Dick.
So first, you're looking at 46 slashing damage, and 30 cold damage.
So 76.
I'm sorry, and then 3 radiant damage.
79. Okay.
And you are branded, the same initials on the same cheek. And that's going to be Doppelganger's turn for now. Back to the group. Boris, Hedrick, Quinn. You guys went straight up the stairs. You are now in the room where all of the people are... You see someone mopping up an ink stain. It's like is it that big library room, right, that I had mentioned?
Yeah.
There are a whole bunch of people literally just shuffling about in here. And they see you enter, and all of them stop what they're doing and rush towards the staircase. And they say, "The Archcleric is very busy!" in unison.
These all just look like servants. They're not guards.
Yeah, they look like regular human, like scribes and just, simple religious folk, like clergy folk.
I'm gonna say Hedrick wants to do something, and he's gonna have a look in his eye and look back at Quinn and Boris, as if to say, are you ready? We cannot stop. He's going to turn and he's going to try to cast with his lute out in a clear path. And he's going to cast Shatter.
Okay, so just to be clear, you are definitely taking a hostile action against these 6 scribe folks.
Well, trying to get him moved out of the way. I guess it's just thunder damage.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna hurt.
Okay. Is the intent to kill, or is the what is?
The intent would be to stun. It's like a flashbang right in their face.
A very powerful and painful flashbang.
Yes.
That can be deadly.
Am I allowed to choose?
When you allowed to choose, okay. The only choice you have is that if you reduce a creature to 0 hit points, you can choose whether you knock them out. However, with spells, it's a bit difficult to control that. If you were to bonk them upside the head, you can choose to make that a non-lethal attack. I'm going to say that when it comes to magic, it is very difficult to make magic non-lethal especially when it's an evocation spell whose express purpose is to be lethal.
I don't believe Hedrick is that ruthless where he would just start slaying down.
These look like humans to you.
Yeah, they're innocents, but they are under the control of something else. Yeah, he's not that cold-blooded. He's not that cold-blooded.
Okay, that's why I want to make sure that I
should play more.
Put that out there, is that you have a chance of murdering 6 innocent people, potentially. You don't know if they're innocent, you don't know if they're people, but they look like people to you. So I'm giving you pause here to consider the decision you're about to make.
Yeah, he could cast something else. It's just it's way too powerful for him to want to blow it on just getting past these people. He just wants to try to run his way through.
Okay.
So Boris notices Hedrick hesitating for a moment with his loot out,
Yeah.
remembers what worked on the first floor, and grabs one of the bags of grain from her pocket and her dagger at the same time and slashes it open while flinging it towards the servants.
Great idea, however, they remain unmoved.
Quinn casts sleep on the
Now-
servants.
Now that's a spell. What level are you casting it at?
There's 6 of them.
Yes.
I'm trying to think if I would be able to know like how heavy the spell needed to be. I'm gonna go with 3rd level.
Okay. So roll all of
Because-
those d8s.
Yeah, that gives me 2 + 2 + 5, so that's 98. 36 hit points of sleep.
3 of them fall asleep.
Okay, all right, that's half.
The other 3 stand and like link arms to try to block the way. And we're gonna go to 0.
All right. We're going to trust that Zero still has a reasonable grasp on which one he's supposed to be doing the shoe stick with.
So they are definitely embroiled in battle. Spotting wax on a sword hand is going to require a little concentration. So how do I want to play this? Because like you did a great thing with the wax, but it is white wax on silver armor. Not the easiest thing to see as if it were like a red candle, for example. Also, both people have taken some hits, and now there's blood and stuff all over the place. So, how many attacks do you get per action?
I have 3 currently.
You can forego one of those attacks to make a check to discern which is the real Jarrell, or you can take all 3 at disadvantage.
Yeah, no, I'm going to forego the one to make the check then.
But I would say if you're foregoing an attack, if you're foregoing an attack, I say I just give it to you. Because you know what? Like, you're already taking a penalty for taking the extra time to spot it out. So you now have 2 attacks. And you know it's the right target. Because otherwise, I think it would be better for me just to flip a coin and see which one you attack.
Okay. We are going to make our attacks, and how lucky do I feel? Not enough. We're not going to bother going with sharpshooter, so I can take the full attack bonus. Let's see. First is a 12 plus 13. That's a 25 against AC.
25 will do it.
And the second is going to be that's a 19 on the die, so that's a crit.
Hey! Wow. Okay.
So let's see. That first one is going to be D10 plus 6. 9 plus 6, it's 15. And the second one is going to be 10 plus D10 plus 6. Let's see, it's 10 plus 1 plus 6, that's 17.
Okay. Takes all that. Definitely looking a little worse for wear, but still very eager to keep the fight going.
Okay, and he's just going to kind of circle, since the candelabras are more or less pretty close to the edge of the area here, right?
Yes. Like
Okay,
pretty close to the edge of where you entered from.
All right. He's going to, Zero is going to circle about, 10 feet around the edge clockwise, so towards his left.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just this so much swirling like blackness. Occasionally, you see like the light of like some distant stars and things like that in this sort of dome that's been sort of placed over you guys. Something does start to materialize a little bit in the back. This sort of dark, starry, dim backdrop. somewhere towards like the back of where you would assume the room would continue to where the Archcleric was. There's a light like almost like a larger star maybe or something like that that's glowing just a bit brighter and a little larger. And we're gonna go to Jarrell.
Jarrell's not looking so good. So he's going to I'm gonna have to lay on hands
Okay.
for the full 65.
Okay, you're taking 65 back. That's your action.
Yep. And I can't move because he's right next to me.
That would
See
be
if there's anything-
a poor decision.
Hmm?
Unless you're confident you can, your AC can take the hit or, block it.
So I can use Aura of Vitality as a bonus action.
Okay. What is Aura of Vitality?
I can heal one creature in range for 2d6 as a bonus action for the duration. Does that count? Or is that an action in itself and then I get the bonus action? It says one action. I don't think that's a bonus action. Nope, it's not. Hold on, let me see if I have any other.
Aura of Vitality is a spell.
Its own action.
And it's an action. Right. Unless it has the timing of a bonus action, then you would not be able to do that.
No.
Which does not look like you can.
No, I can't. Yep, that's it.
Okay.
I would have the reaction. Zero's not even close to me, is he?
He, Zero is about, I would say, 15 or 20 feet from you.
That's important. Okay.
Actually, no, because Doppelganger Jarrell rushed into you. Oh, no, never mind, because he reached the edge of the circle, and then you had first, so you rushed up. Yeah, you're at the edge. Zero's about 15 feet from you.
All right, that's all I can do.
Okay. Doppelganger Jarrell will act. What you're going to see him do is actually, in the hand where the sword is, he's going to raise the sword above his head, and his hand is going to glow with green flame.
Green flame.
Flame.
And he's going to point the sword at Zero. And you can see this almost like this beam of negative energy just like fire from the sword, and almost like as it reaches to Zero, it almost fires, like, I wouldn't say slow motion, but like slowly. And as it reaches Zero, it almost like creates like a hand at the end of it, and then one finger that reaches out to touch Zero. And I would like Zero to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right. Gonna be an 18.
An 18 matches, thankfully,
Woo.
as you save against Finger of Death.
Oh,
You're still going to take half of 78 plus 30 necrotic damage. So 61 turns into 30 necrotic damage.
So 30 necrotic.
Yes. And then the hand returns back to a normal color, like the glow fades from it. And we are gonna go to the group. Boris, Quinn, Hedrick.
Does it matter what order we go in at this point?
Not yet. However, I guess because of initiatives, I'll give Boris priority just because it was so high. 23.
Compared to what, 6 and 4 or whatever we had.
5.
5 and 6.
I think, yeah.
Or no, 5 and no.
I had 12.
Hedrick had a 12.
Yeah, whoever's got the best idea. Hedrick feels like maybe he could convince the guy in the middle to kind of loosen his grip. So he is getting ready to play, but I mean, he's looking for Boris for better options that are non-violent.
Yeah, there are 3 of them that are linking arms, blocking your way to the stairs up.
He's just going to start playing music at least. Just starting to create a vibe before he's casting.
How tall are these guys?
They range from about 5'9" to 6'2".
And like, how much space are they spread out? Like,
I mean, arms linked, just enough to block the staircase. So they're not even 5 feet apart.
I mean, I'm just about to cast sleep again.
Do you?
If Boris hesitates, I'm doing it.
I see hesitation happening.
yeah, Boris hesitates for a second.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast sleep again.
Love it.
So you just see like another kind of puff of sand kind of come out of Quinn's hand.
Song Mr. Sandman starts playing.
Something like that, and then oops. All right, go back to this.
Dum 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 dum.
So I'm gonna only cast it at the first level,
Okay.
and we'll hope for the best.
And you will hope for the best.
Ooh, 20.
2 of them fall asleep.
Yes,
There is one still standing,
it's fine.
just like kind of doing like the Travolta, like looking around, because like all of his fellow people are literally snoring on the floor.
Is he trying to hold them up still?
Nope, he
Is
is
he in the middle, or the left, or the right?
Oh, that's a good question. They had their arms linked, right? So give me 1 second. I'm gonna have him make a save. And he falls over on his face
Yes.
as the weight of the 2 of them pulls him down. He was the guy who was 5'9". The other 2 were a little taller than him. So
Great.
Now Boris just somersault dives over them.
Yeah.
make me an acrobatics check.
Oh boy.
Because you had to be fancy.
Lovely. Had to be fancy.
Oh, thank God, that's a 7, not a 1. 22.
I was gonna say, are you proficient with acrobatics though?
Oh yeah, right. 27.
Right, because you can't roll lower than a 10. Yeah, I mean, without even an effort, just somersault over them.
Hedrick's the same, doesn't drop the loot, just like does this flat spin and rolls over onto his feet and continues in stride.
Oh, cool. You get to make me an acrobatics check too.
Yeah, that's 39. No, wait, 16, 29.
All right. Quinn, I'll give you one opportunity to do something cool or just like walk around them.
Quinn just walks around them.
Yeah.
He could do it, but he's just like, fuck this shit. We need to get someplace.
I'm also going to apologize to the audience because I'm pretty sure I skipped a floor at some point here of like, I think there was another floor that had like rooms off to the sides or whatever, but you know what? Like, whatever. Continuity is bullshit. Let's move on. You guys make it to the staircase. This one, remember, does have a handle and does open. Zero, it is your turn.
Zero is going to continue to circle maybe another 20 feet around and get a little bit closer to that one star that's a little brighter than the others. And as much as we like doing that, we're going to forego the 1 attack on the check and make the 2 attacks against the guy. But I want him to be a little closer to it.
Sounds good.
All right, so we'll make attack number 1 with reason, which is not going to do the job. A 4 on the die plus 13 is 17, and we've established that's not it.
Definitely
but,
not.
Let's see what it does for us. It's going to be a 23 modified.
23 matches.
Yeah, all right, good. We know things now. And that's a d10 plus 6, which is going to be 10 total.
And he will take 10. And he's looking okay.
Oh, you know what? I'll also use my bonus action for a second wind real quick to regain 1d10 plus fighter level HP. It's going to be, 9 plus 13, so it's 22 HP comes back.
Nice.
Sounds good. Yeah,
That's my turn.
All right, Jarrell.
Jarrell's not feeling great, but a little better. And he's going to take his 2 attacks.
Okay.
The first one is a 30. And the second, a 23.
Hey, look at you.
So I hit with both. And you know what he about to do.
Roll a bunch of dice.
Yeah. I am going to make 1 at second level and 1 at third.
Yeah, for Divine Smite you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I might as well add a first level Thunderous Smite.
Okay.
So it must save against a strength check or be pushed back 10 feet. Does 10 thunder damage.
What's the DC on that?
17.
19.
Yep. Okay, so he doesn't get pushed back, but he does take 10 thunder damage. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 11 d8.
11d8?
Radiant damage.
That's not a real number. I think we all remember as kids using the word 11d at some point, though.
Mm-hmm. It ends up being a total of 64 damage with the 2 Divine Smite, the Branding Smite, and the 2 slashing attacks.
Okay. Doppelganger Jarrell is not looking great, but is still standing.
Fuck. I don't want to get hit again, especially not as hard as I just hit him.
All right, Jarrell, that brings us now to your Doppelganger's turn. And it's going to once again brandish its flavor of the Sword of Justice and make 3 attacks against you. Okay, this is looking a little bit more survivable this time at least. A 20, which will not hit you. 19, which will also not hit you.
Yay!
And a 30, which will definitely hit you.
No.
So you will take 17 slashing damage
Okay. And
and 12 cold damage.
okay. Is that 29?
Did you guys continue just to spar? Yeah, go back and forth. Right. While Zero, I can just imagine like the picture. He's just like kind of like literally sitting there just aiming, just like okay, just like focus on the wax. Which one has the wax? Which one has the wax? And that glow.
They can't possibly be moving that much.
There's a lot of swinging and like shuffling going on, so they are embroiled in quite the melee. But now that star that I had mentioned that was ever glowing brighter and brighter, kind of behind where Jarrell and his doppelganger are fighting, begins to even now again like increase in both luminosity as well as you can actually almost make out a shape of it, and the shape itself is almost like I'm not going to call it a pulsar because it's not pulsing, but you can clearly see a beam of light extending from the top and bottom from it. Now it's almost like a lens flare, where it's like now like instead of just a ball of light, that ball is expanding, and now a beam of that light is also stretching out to a point in the top and a point at the bottom of that circle. And it's like kind of becoming larger and almost like it's getting closer. And that's what we're going to call this episode of the Hapless Heroes podcast.
Nah.
Boo.
Double boo.
Thank you so much for listening. Listen, if you like us, you can find us on the internet We're on such places as Twitter and Instagram at Hapless Heroes. You can also find us on Facebook and Reddit. Just search Hapless Heroes Podcast. Those places, though, will have sticky posts or something in our description or comments that, will show you the way to what we consider the crown jewel of our internet presence, our Discord server, where you can meet and interact with us on a daily basis. We're always hanging out in there. Quinn loves his fans. Dave and I are fairly active. The rest of us, we're always just kind of hanging out there. We have a great community, and we would love for you to be a part of it. But if you really like us, you can leave us a 5-star review on the podcast service of your choice. Not even sure what podcast services are accepting reviews these days. I found that the age of reviews has definitely changed shape. In that, they don't even work with rankings anymore. However, we still love reading your kind words. If you want to say some kind words about us and leave us a review so that other people can see it and be like, yo, this looks like a great show to listen to, we would love that. And we'll say some kind words right back to you on the air because we wanted to let you know just how much of a 5-star human we think you are. Now, if you really like us, you can donate to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/haplessheroes. As of this recording, too, I'm happy to report we have our first and only $100 patron.
Oh, is that the nudes? Are we getting the nudes? We got the nudes ready.
Nope, but they will be a part of a future episode or two coming up soon as this arc concludes. So I want to say thank you to Omnius Primus, one of our longest patrons, for making a donation at that level. It was a one-time donation, but it's enough. And given the state of the show and how we're kind of going towards the conclusion, this may be the only one that we're able to facilitate. But we've already been talking, and I got some great ideas of how we can honor this person who has given so much to this show that, this is the only way that we can say thank you at this point for that level of contribution. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. It's going to be a great time, and I'll be DMing that shit.
And for those of you keeping track, you now know that our naked bodies are worth more than $100.
Goddamn right.
You're just chomping at the bit, John. You can't wait to get those out there.
I've been holding on to these things for a while. So.
John actually has tasteful nudes. All right.
There's literally Polaroids in his hand.
Yep.
He's got 4 years of them.
Yeah. Every single cast member, whether or not they know it.
Wait, what?
Okay, what?
Wanted it now.
Yeah, that's fucked up, dude.
Yeah. I'm not denying that. And if you like us, right now you really love us. Start working out. Get gigantically huge, massive. And then replace your bones with a titanium endoskeleton. Strip off all your clothes, walk into the nearest biker bar, and say, I need you to listen to the Hapless Heroes podcast. And then just see what happens. Can't be that bad.
You know what? Still a better story than X-Men Origins Wolverine. Still a better story than X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
And sounds hotter, too.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and outro this cast before we start treading into dangerous waters here. Starting on my right this time with the wonderful, amazing John playing Lord Jarrell the Light.
Come and get it, doppelganger.
Phil as Hedrick the Entertainer.
Well, Captain, that sleep spell sure came in handy.
Nicole as Boris the Butcher.
Why are there so many stairs in this building?
Mike as Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind.
And why don't the doors have handles?
And last but not least, Dave as Zero, Valen's Avatar of War.
Good evening to all.
And I'm Francesco. I've been your host and DM. We'll see you next week as we continue this multi-phase combat. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.